With restrictions banning large-scale gatherings still in place, political parties in Morocco are limited to holding small street-to-street canvasses as they vie for support ahead of Wednesday's elections. This year's polls are very different to previous ones. Election billboards are few and far between, there have been no big rallies, and there's an evident lack of excitement amongst many Moroccans. Much of this is down to the impact COVID has had on the country, particularly its economy.
There's
no doubt the pandemic will impact these elections in their entirety. There won't just be large-scale protest voting, but I also expect many people will choose to abstain because this pandemic has dented the people's confidence in the political process.
Morocco is currently trying to stave off another wave of the virus. And although it's done much better than its neighbours in combating COVID in terms of hospitalizations, its economy, particularly the tourism and hospitality sectors, have been hit hard. At this coffee shop in the Al area of Casablanca, business is slowly picking up. But the owner tells me there's still a long way to go.
I used to employ 11 people. I had to let 9 go because of the pandemic. I have lost around 80% of my business.
With the national curfew banning people from going outdoors after 9 p.m, it's businesses like these that have suffered the most, as they're unable to make money during peak times when coffee shops are usually at their busiest.
All the decisions the government took have been destructive to businesses. We expected them to introduce policies that would ease things for us, but they didn't. So my vote will be a protest one.
The government supporters, however, will point to the fact that more than 40% of the population have now been vaccinated, and that whilst businesses have suffered, it's restrictions that have helped save people's lives. But in the end of the day, many voters cast their ballots based on how good or bad the economy is doing. This is the first time that Hisham will be old enough to vote. He makes a living washing cars at this small garage in one of Casablanca's suburbs. He makes roughly just over $2 a day. He says he hasn't decided who to vote for yet, but has a simple request from those seeking power.
I wish they look at what the people need. They need to address not only the pandemic, but the economy as a whole. We all want the best for our country.
Morocco has dealt with the pandemic far better than many countries. It currently has the highest vaccination rate in all of Africa. But COVID is still a threat. And whilst the economy is gradually recovering and streets and markets like these are getting busier, there's no doubt that the coronavirus pandemic will be a major factor when Moroccans come to vote on Wednesday. Jamal, Elshayyal, Aljazeera, Casablanca.